If you'd like to learn to draw hundreds of animals just like this in pastels, check out my Patreon channel. But first, let me show you my top secret on why I use black gouache sometimes. A little trick that I do when I've got dark subjects like this, very often I'll use black gouache paint. Okay, that's the type I normally use, Winsor & Newton, Designer's Gouache, or some call it Gouache. I'm not sure which is the right way, but either way. And then all you do is put a little bit of that, well, this is how I do it, in one of these jars, a glass jar or a plastic jar or a bit of plastic you've got hanging around, or a plastic palette, doesn't matter, tiny bit. In the other jar, this is the old jar, I've just got some water, and I'm just going to dip my brush, or a brush, old brush, pick one that's kind of a suitable size. Okay, nothing special, dip it in some water, thin that down, and you're after something like ink consistency. You don't want it thick. If it's really thick, it'll fill the tooth of the paper up and we won't be able to get pastel on top of it. Don't need this to be, you know, extremely thick, dark. It's not like I'm painting. As such, it's not going to stay there. I'm going to have pastel over the top, so why am I even doing it? Well, when you've got something dark, like this, it can take quite a bit of black pastel, I've found, to get the depth of colour. And that could mean, if you've got lots of dark pastel around, when you've got something that needs to be super bright, colourful, I want to try and keep this area clean. I don't want lots of dark pastel dust. So I don't want to put the dark areas in very early. Okay, now that gives me a little bit of a problem because you don't have to do this at all. Lots of videos I've got where I don't even do this. I just find it useful, handy. The problem otherwise would be it's difficult to judge. If I want to do the fish first, which I think I will, it could be difficult to judge the right colour and tonal value if I haven't got something dark or a bit of background in place quite early on. You notice in my videos I always say to put some background in, even if it's just a little line around early on, so that you can judge the tonal values and the colour of the subject much more easily. Otherwise you can be kind of guessing almost. See, I'm really getting that in there. Do it around here as well. So by doing this, I am putting a bit of edge in. Okay, so I will be able to judge easily if I've got, or more easily, if I've got the colour, and more importantly, tonal value. Looks like he's got some sort of mohawk going on there. Let's go around here. I'm not going to do all of the areas that are not the fish, but I'll just come around by here, do that and go down to about by there, and that'll do me. Now this dries completely matte, this gouache, and it feels very, very similar to the pastel matte. Just as I said, completely matte. That's why I use it. You could also use black watercolour paint. That's basically the same thing. It does look odd. Could do the black eye. There we go. Use a smaller brush for that. As I said, right size tool for the job, that's what we need. So by doing this, if my pastel does, you know, go onto the black, doesn't matter. But it's gonna, by putting that in there with a bit of paint, that means I'm not gonna smudge that black over onto the orange, and I'll just touch it up at the end. So how much water to add? Just enough for it to be, as I said, kind of ink-like. Let's put that in there as well. If you add too much, it'll start running and smudging around. Now, one thing I would say, let's dry that brush off a bit. I don't want really hard edges everywhere with it. I like to use kind of a dry brush and just see, rough the edge up. See, just like that. Just so I'm got a real hard edge there. I don't want a hard edge, because all these little areas are going to kind of be soft. If I've got a hard edge, it can be difficult to cover it. So let's make it soft now. It's still a bit damp. Don't use your best brushes for this. Any cheap old brush will do. And that's all we need to make a start. Now, drying it. You can, if you're in a rush, use a hairdryer. Don't put it too hot. Keep it quite cool. This dries really quick anyway. Or just wait. Or if you're going on to another section, you can just carry on straight away anyway. If you're struggling to draw animals or to improve your art, I can share with you the techniques I've learned over 25 years so you can avoid frustration and trial and error and start to enjoy drawing and creating straight away. Hi, my name is Jason Morgan. I'm a professional artist and I would love to be your guide on your unique art journey. I've fallen in love with pastels and I'm sure you will too. There's really no other medium that has the vibrancy and colour intensity and the ability to put light over dark. That's an absolute game changer for the animal artist. Now, on my channel you get immediate access to hundreds of hours of lessons and demonstrations, and you go completely at your own pace. There is absolutely no rushing in my art channel and lessons. Think of it like a video library. You pick the video you like, something that really takes your fancy, and you take as long as you want to complete it. Or alternatively, you can watch my videos, learn the techniques and apply them to the subjects that really inspire you. And you also get new reference photos each month. They're copyright free. You can use them in your art, sell your art, no worries whatsoever. Many of my artists came to me with little to no art ability whatsoever, and they're truly amazed with what they're now creating. You could be doing that as well. Now, don't think age is a problem. You're really never too old to start learning and enjoying art, and many of my students are 40, 50, 60, 70, even 80 years of age. Now, my channel is about much more than lessons and techniques. You also get access to my secret private Facebook group, and that's full of members that's literally grown up with my channel. They're super supportive and kind. They come from all over the world. So if you've got any questions, you can rest assured there's going to be someone there really quick with a solution to your problems. Now, with my channel, you're not tied into any contract. You can literally come and go as you please. You can go up tiers, you can go down tiers, whatever you want. And there's a tier and a price to suit literally any pocket. Now, I've been doing art lessons for many years, and I really pride myself on trying to create the absolute best lessons and demonstrations I possibly can. I really hope to see you there soon so you can start your art journey, and I can't wait to see what you can achieve.